Hello and welcome to another episode of A Perfect Home. I'm your host, Jennifer Cohen. Thank you so much for joining us. Our goal here at A Perfect Home is to introduce you to local professionals who are at the top of their game and can help take your house from, place to live to a perfect home. It's absolutely awesome. Today we have with us from Verde Solar Power, we have Greg Collins. Thank you for joining us today.
Hello, glad to be here.
Excellent, excellent. Now, you guys have been in business since 1996, so you're sticking in there.
We just celebrated our 10th year in the Cornville location, and we're happy to now be the oldest solar installer in the valley. So.
Yeah. Now, as you've just passed your 10-year anniversary, so there are systems out there that you installed 10 years ago. How are those looking these days?
Yeah, we're in fact, we just did a check on a system up in Sedona that we installed 10 years ago, and it's still running just fine. So there are some that we've seen that are having problems that we didn't install. We're doing more and more service and repair work these days. But solar is a very, very reliable technology, and it's here to stay.
That's true. I like that. So you will service and repair somebody else's
It's not
stuff.
rocket science.
Yeah?
It's simple technology. Anybody can work on, any of the installers can work on anybody's equipment.
All right.
At least that's what we think.
Well, that's good to know. Well, at least you can. So if you need help with somebody else's system, call Greg.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, that's so much has come through the industry in just the past 2 years, let alone 10 years.
Constantly changing. It's
How do you
a challenge
keep up?
to keep up with it.
Yeah.
You just eat, sleep, and drink solar, I guess. I don't know.
And you said you do that. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
But
What's the big thing right now as we're seeing? You know, we've gone through some stages, but what's most exciting to you right now in the solar industry?
well, the thing that's the industry is working on is incorporating storage, batteries, into our storage solar systems so that we can help be a better use of the grid. As we get to have a higher and higher percentage of the Arizona's generation capacity be solar, we're going to start causing problems as solar because we generate power during the middle of the day, and yet you use power all day long through the night and stuff. So if we can start using storage batteries to help maintain and stabilize the grid, that will keep the utilities much happier, and we'll be a good citizen in our community that way. And so it's not here yet. So the industry is really working on it. It's possible, but it's still not cost effective. And but that'll be coming.
Absolutely.
And then the other exciting thing is electric cars. We just got one, and it's a fantastic vehicle. I think electric cars are going to take over the world in the next 10 years. There's a superior technology. You can charge it off your solar system. You can use the batteries in your car to effectively be that storage medium to help moderate your house's solar gain.
Wow.
So you can charge your car in the middle of the day, and there's even ways of then using that power later in the day.
Wow. So the car itself is effectively a battery bank that's mobile.
Yeah.
That you can use to drive to work, and then when you get home, you can run your house off of it at night.
Yeah.
Wow. That is
we're going to see that
Greg.
come across in the next 10 years. Right now we're at about, in Arizona, about 10% of our generation capacity on the grid is renewables. Primarily solar, and about half of that is utility, about half is residential or distributed, they call it. And the current plan is to take that to 15%. The proposition that just got voted down was going to take us to 50%, which that would be a challenge. 15% is no trouble at all. To go past 15%, we're going to start having problems impacting the grid with stability and regulation. So that's where we're going to start needing the battery technology, and then 5-10 years from now, we're going to see that come in. So.
Okay, so the 15% was a reasonable request, whereas the 50 wasn't, because the technology can't keep up with that at the moment.
Right. And they're working on it. And Hawaii right now is already at the 20% level.
Wow.
And they have a moratorium on you can no longer backfeed the grid with new solar systems because they have so many people over there. Electricity is so expensive in Hawaii that it's a no-brainer to put in solar. and they've got some neighborhoods that are 100% solar and starting to get out of control. So the industry's working on that. Hawaii is the test facility, and we're going to see that rolled out nationwide in areas like Arizona in the next 5 to 10 years.
Well, excellent. As technology improves, and this is the perfect playground for that technology to get.
We have the best solar resource in the country here in Arizona. Our utility prices are, you know, maybe it doesn't feel like it to you, but our utility rates are really quite low, and it makes solar not the most cost effective. Places like California and New York and Hawaii and New Jersey and Connecticut are actually better places to install solar for your dollar. But there's no reason why Arizona, we shouldn't be the solar capital of the country, I think.
Absolutely.
So we should be showing people how to do it and selling it to them.
That's true. Now, regardless of the fact that our utility prices may not be as high as some other states, you know, going solar is still definitely worth doing.
Oh, definitely. The payback time is still about 6 to 7 years right now in our area. It was a little better than that. Last year we had most of our installs were down to a 5-year payback.
Wow.
Historically, over the last 10 years, most of the time it's been 7 to 8 years. So we're still in a very good situation. It's worth it. It's a good long-term investment. You will get your money back. Solar systems are super reliable.
That is true.
It's worth doing if you're going to be in your house for at least 7 years.
That is absolutely true. It is a very reliable system. I've been using solar since the early 90s on boats and RVs and things like that, and was always impressed how well that worked. And so looking at my home, I go, wow, look at that huge roof. Look at all this space. I need to go solar. And knowing that, you know, in so many years, if I plan to stay in my house, that's going to pay me back. And of course, the part of me that wants to help the environment knows I'm using less resources and taking something that is basically free and non-volatile and, you know, doesn't affect anyone around me or the environment.
Yep. My home system's all paid off, and now I'm charging the electric car on it, so I drive for free.
Wow.
Too.
Yeah, who says that?
I'm living the future. It's wonderful.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Well, you know, that's the way to do it if you're in the solar business. Now you're going to have to start getting a car lot next to your place there on Cornville Road.
I should promote these Chevy Bolt EVs, or what they are. There's several electric cars. All the manufacturers are going to start coming out with these.
Right.
Mercedes and Jaguar, all the big European car makers. Volkswagen says they're going to be 100% electric in the next 5 years.
Wow.
So the manufacturers have all figured it out. Their new models are all coming out within the next year. Tesla is going to get a run for their money. But we're seeing a lot of people already. Part of our business has become putting in the charging stations in homes so that you can fast charge your car overnight.
Right.
And it's going to be a big revolution on driving.
Sure, yeah, things are really rolling along as far as the solar industry goes. What are you up to now? What do you see in the area that the demand is for?
Well, whole house solar systems are still the thing to do. We like to make them what we call storage ready, to where when the time comes you can add on batteries and that component and make it even better, but it's not quite here yet. But you can be 100% solar powered in your home. Wow,
that would be amazing, especially as rates are continuing to climb, especially recently.
Yeah, last year the Corporation Commission allowed APS to totally revamp their rate structure and get rid of net metering, which has been the traditional big incentive for solar, and they replaced it with what they call their RPS, where they're actually paying you dollars for your excess generation. And they're paying a pretty healthy. They were paying 12.9 cents last year per kilowatt hour. Now they're down to 11.9. Every year they're going to reevaluate it. But the trouble is now they're paying you for that, but then when you buy your power back from them in the middle of the night, you have to pay the taxes and fees and everything on it. So it's really not as good as it was 2 years ago, but still very worthwhile. And the prices on the equipment has continued to come down. So In fact, we're using solar panels that come out of San Antonio, Texas now, all American-made panels.
Oh, wonderful.
And they're the best value I know of, so.
Wonderful.
As a result of the tariffs that went into effect last December. So.
Right. Yeah, that's true. I'm very happy to hear that you're buying American and your products are American made. I'm all for, you know, keeping it here. And the Chinese market, I'm so glad that the Americans are able to hold their own now.
We need to get all the solar manufacturers to move to Arizona, and then we can be Arizona made.
Yes, and why wouldn't they? If you're watching now, why aren't you here? That's, you know, there's so much possibility in the field of solar. You know, it can just keep going.
Well, that's our strong suit here in Arizona. You know, when you walk outside that door, it's really nice to be able to hit that heat and know that you're benefiting from it more. So.
Yep, all that sunscreen you're putting on. Every time you do that, you're going, yay, free energy. I'm going to be running my AC tonight.
And it's becoming common. You drive around the valley now, and you see solar all over the place. Every neighborhood's got at least one home.
That is true.
And probably, I estimate that 2/3 of the homes in the valley are good candidates for a cost-effective solar system. And
yeah. Absolutely. When we come back from the break, we'll talk about good candidates versus medium candidates. Of course, tax credits, we have to talk about that as well. Check out verdesolarpower.com. I know, there's so much popping right now in the solar industry. Verdesolarpower.com is the website. You want to go ahead and check that out. We're sitting here with Greg Collins. And, you know, if you want to go drop by and visit, beautiful place you've got there in Windmill Gardens on East Cornville Road in Cornville. They're open Monday through Friday from 10 to 5. You can give them a call at 284-0884. Don't go away, because we have more of A Perfect Home coming right up.
Hi, this is Todd at Todd's Appliances in Camp Verde. We can meet or beat any box store prices on major appliances. That's right, meet or beat any box store prices. We carry name brand appliances like Maytag, Whirlpool, GE, Speed Queen. With same day, next day service, Todd's Appliance, Main Street, Camp Verde. We service what we sell and we sell what we service the least. Go to toddsappliances.com, 567-3062. See store for details.
Hi, this is Greg at Verde Solar Power. You know, Arizona has lots of clean, renewable sunshine, and we want to help you take advantage of it with our quality solar installations, and we offer to beat any written offer on a residential solar electric system. So bring us your electric bill and let us show you how solar power will save you money. We're located conveniently here in the Verde Valley and are dedicated to helping the valley go solar. So remember, the energy solution comes up every morning.
We Organize You serves the entire Quad City area and the Verde Valley with custom cabinetry, including kitchen, garage, laundry, custom home office, and closet systems. Stop by their showroom in Chino Valley to see how they can make your home more convenient and valuable. It's time to get reorganized with We Organize You. For more information, go to weorganizearizona.com. That's weorganizearizona.com.
Starting in the late 1920s, Grandpa Gettle and his brothers laid the groundwork for what would become a family legacy. Almost 100 years and 100 patents later, Gettle's High Desert Mechanical continues to raise the bar of quality heating, cooling, and plumbing products and services in the Verde Valley.
Call Gettle's High Desert Mechanical Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing at 567-2200 or online at GettlesHDM.com, providing solutions for your comfort. Don't settle, get Gettles.
And welcome back to A Perfect Home. We're talking about Verde Solar Power. We're here with Greg Collins. We've been talking about all the benefits of solar, about electric vehicles. We've been talking about how battery storage is really coming around. But let's talk tax credits now, Greg. That's always been a big thing, but things are changing in the tax credit horizon.
Yeah, the tax credits have always been a big part of making solar a good deal. And we've always had a 30% federal tax credit and a $1,000 state tax credit. And in what was it, 2014, they extended it for another 6 years, but it's going to start sunsetting in the year 2020. So in 2020, it's going to go down to 25%, and the next year down to 10%, and it's going to taper off at least. But so if you want to get in on the good days of solar, you've got another year.
Okay.
So
get on it. Don't wait any longer.
Encourage you to give us a call.
Okay. So tell us now, what is the typical cost of a system install?
Yeah, it's come down a lot. When I first got started, it was typical to pay $30,000 to $40,000 for a solar system. But then with all the tax credits, and then back then APS was paying a rebate that would pay for half the system. So you'd end up paying about $15,000. Well, that's where right now most systems cost about $10,000 to $15,000, and you get about a third of that back in tax credits. So it's real common to get people under $10,000 for a solar system that will last. The solar panels are warranted for 25 years. They'll typically last 50 years.
Wow.
You just have to keep replacing the inverter every 10, 15 years, which is so you pay it off in about 6 years, and then you'll have free power for a long time to come.
Wow, that's absolutely worth it.
It's amazing. It's no moving parts and very reliable technology.
Right. And where do you put them on people's homes? Do you find roofs are the most accessible spot in this area?
We find that putting them on a roof is the best solution. Gets them up where they stay cleaner on a roof. There's less chance of being damaged. They're just out of sight, out of mind.
Right.
We of course think they look beautiful on your roof.
Oh yes.
And nowadays the solar panels are all black. They're what we call triple black. The frames are black, the cells are black, and the back sheet is black. So they look like just a big skylight up there, and they look nice.
Oh wow. Well, that's something new, because back in the day there were these bright blue things on your roof with all this metal trim.
To monocrystalline cells, which are black, and the blue was beautiful too. But we can do them on. We do ground mounts as well. Sometimes that's more suitable for people. That costs more, and you're more subject to getting damage, and they get dirtier when they're down close to the ground. Of course, they're easier to clean, but when they're up on a roof, you can just install them up there and forget it. They never have to do any maintenance or cleaning. And
that's interesting. So when someone gives you a call and says, hey, I'm considering doing solar for my home, what happens next?
Well, what we like to see is have you send us a recent copy of your APS billing. And from that, we can run that through our software and find out what's the most cost-effective size. And we look at your roof via the aerial photography that's available online, and we can give a quote to you that's very accurate just through those two mechanisms.
Wow, that's fantastic. So if it comes up, say $10,000, do you have financing options?
There are. We quit doing leasing. Leasing was a big thing several years ago. Now that solar has become so much less expensive, it's really not necessary to involve a third party in your solar and have them own the system and then have problems when you go to sell your house and stuff. So we've quit doing leasing. Most people in our valley here, fortunately, are able to just buy it straight out, and that's the most cost-effective way to go if you can use the tax credits. Now, if you can't use the tax credits, then perhaps leasing would be a better option for you. But there's also solar loans. We have finance partners that can have tailored loans for solar customers that are either unsecured or secured. So that's very viable too.
Good to know. Good to know. And if you plan on being in your home for, around 6 years, it's going to pay for itself at that point.
And then the financing is always structured so that your loan payments are less than what your savings on your electric bill. So it's cash flow positive right off the bat.
Well, that's good to know.
That's there's really no one that can't do solar. There are some homes, though, that here in the valley we've got a lot of homes that have nice, beautiful shade trees over them, and traditionally that's really a nice thing to do to your home. But it's really tough to put solar on, and we hate to have anybody cut down their trees, of course. So there's very few homes that we can't find a way to put a cost-effective solar system on and give you clean, renewable power for many decades.
But there you go. Yeah, the shade trees thing, but it's the desert. We do what we can.
Sure.
But for the most part, pretty much any home you can find somewhere to put solar.
Yeah, and if you need to put up a carport, I mean a solar support structure to put a solar system on, and provide yourself some more shade, put your vehicle under the shade.
Oh, that's clever.
Then you can get the tax credits on that solar support structure as
Ah,
well.
the solar support structure. And not a carport. Solar support structure. I
Right.
love that. I could use one of those for sure. And just to have the car underneath of it would be great.
Oh,
anyway,
everybody
the side
loves
benefit.
shade, huh?
Oh my gosh, yeah, especially around here. Wow. So tell me a little bit. Now you mentioned you take a look at the APS bill. Okay, which tells you a lot, especially if you can go online to the APS's
Right.
website. It can tell you about
I've
the bill.
spent a lot of time analyzing the APS rates, and they all changed last August. And then every year they're going to reevaluate things as to what they're willing to pay for our excess solar generation. But we've gone away from net metering, where we used to trade kilowatt hour for kilowatt hour, and it was a very simple, neat way to incentivize solar. Now they've gone to paying you for your excess generation. So during the middle of the day, when your solar system's pumping out the most and you're gone at work, that power that goes back into the grid, you'll get credit for that. And right now it's at 11.6 cents per kilowatt hour. And then at night you have to buy it back from APS at the regular rates, which is oftentimes less than 11 cents. So you're actually, they're paying you more for your power than you're paying from them, except you got to pay taxes and fees on the power you buy from them. But there's also something called demand charges. So anybody that's got a larger home, having one of the larger rate plans, is now paying demand charges, which is something that used to be only on commercial utility billing. And demand is the peak power that you'll use. So they figure the 15-minute period during a month where you use the most power. So your air conditioner's running, your refrigerator's running, just everything happens to come on at the same time. And you'll use, X amount of kilowatt hours, like maybe in a home you might get as high as 7 or 8 kilowatts. And you'll pay, under the new rate plans, $8 per kilowatt. So you may get hit with an $80 charge mixed in there amongst all those itemized charges on your billing. Well, it's not too hidden, but yeah. So that's something that most residential customers aren't familiar with, don't understand. There's not much you can do to control it. In fact, you put a solar system on your house, you'll reduce that demand a little bit, but there'll be a 15-minute period in the month, like in the monsoon months in the summer when it's cloudy, your solar system's not working very well, but your air conditioner's still running, and so that's a charge that's hard to get rid of. So, but if we can get most of your power offset with solar, to where we can get you on one of the smaller rate plans that doesn't have demand charges, then
there you go.
You have a good solution.
Then you're working it out. Yeah, absolutely. Wow.
So, and a lot of people are on the wrong rate plan. I encourage everybody to call APS, ask them. If you ask them, they're very honest with you. They'll go back and look at your history and your usage and advise you of what's the best rate plan for you to be on.
Yep.
So
that is true.
They won't call you. You have to call them.
That's true.
And you're welcome to call us. We're glad to help you as well. And
well, there you go.
Give you a solar option while we're at it.
That's good to know. 284-0884, that's their number. Go to verdesolarpower.com if you want to check out their website. All kinds of information there. There's a contact page, of course. The phone number and everything is on there. Information about what's happening right now in the industry. It's really quite amazing. Check it out. We're speaking with Greg Collins, and we'll be right back with more of A Perfect Home, so don't go away.
Paul Stanley here with Stanley Steel Structures. We offer shade structures that provide style, value, and performance. Our Equinox louvered roof opens and closes to give you the ultimate patio experience. We also offer Alumawood shade covers that looks like wood but lasts like steel and never needs painting or maintenance. Visit us at StanleySteelStructures.com. Contact us today and be covered tomorrow. Stanley Steel Structures. Let us add some space to your place.
Northern Arizona Mortgage Corporation is your local choice for personalized home loans, and they've been doing it since 1986. They help home buyers obtain FHA, VA, USDA guaranteed rural housing, and conventional loans. From start to finish, they offer a safe in-person application process with licensed loan originators. Contact Shelley White Collier at northernarizonaMortgage.com or call 634-4251. Visit their office, located at 707 East Dominguez, Suite 601, Cottonwood.
Fabulous views and unmatched quality with efficiency in mind. Just announced, C&B Construction is the only contractor ever to win the EPA's coveted Indoor Air Plus Leaders Award 4 years in a row. These Energy Star certified homes provide unparalleled energy efficiency, comfort, durability, and indoor air quality. C&B Construction is currently building at Gray Fox Ridge and Crossroads at Mingus. C&B Construction, locally respected and nationally recognized.
This is Bruce Morrow, Transportation Manager for Cottonwood Area Transit. Remember, we cover the entire Verde Valley and Sedona. Cottonwood Area Transit has you covered wherever you want to ride in the Verde Valley, all day, every day. Take Cottonwood Area Transit through Clarkdale, Verde Village, and from 26 locations in Cottonwood. With Verde Links, it's a quick and easy trip to Sedona every day. Don't forget our connectors to Camp Verde. Visit cottonwoodaz.gov for Cottonwood Area Transit and take a seat. Let's go ride.
And welcome back to A Perfect Home. I'm your host, Jennifer Cohen. We're here with Greg Collins from Verde Solar Power. We've been talking about all things solar recently, but we want to go back to the car. The solar car just is so amazing. I got to go for a ride. It was so much fun. It was so quiet, and it was so fast. I was shocked.
I call it my solar-powered electric rocket car.
Yes.
And if there's any deputies out there, go easy on me. It's easy to get going too fast in that thing.
They got to give you credit when they pull you over. It's solar. And they go, oh, okay.
Be glad to give them a test drive. How did you like your test drive?
I thought it was great. It was quiet. It was fast. It can go 200 miles without being charged. You can go to the airport and back.
You can go to the airport and back.
That's incredible.
So what else do you need? You don't need to drive cross country.
No. I mean, that's perfectly fine. If you're someone like me that commutes a lot to work, you know, that's going to, I mean, that costs you, what did you say, to go 200 miles costs you how much, you think?
$3.
$3. 200. It cost me $3 to go down the street and back.
Well, it doesn't even cost me that much because I'm charging it off my solar system.
Right. So it doesn't even cost you that much.
Yeah, it's free power.
Right. So you can install the charging stations for these vehicles if someone decides to get one of these vehicles.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. Just charge them up at home. You just pull into my carport, plug it into the wall. And next morning it's
ready to go. Don't have to go to the gas station twice a week like I do.
I only go to the gas station to wash the windshield.
How about that? Won't that be an amazing thing? And they're big too. I was shocked how big it was. Yeah, it's a Chevy Bolt EV that you drive, and I of course expected it to be small inside because it looks like a compact car, but it's big. You can actually commute with a bunch of people.
It's maybe a compact car on the outside, but inside it's a mid-sized car because there's very little room needed for the electric drive system, and the batteries are just the whole bottom of the car underneath. Wow. It keeps it the center of gravity is real low. It's really great for cornering. And
yeah, it drives really well. So if I was a person who didn't have a solar setup in my home, that doesn't necessarily matter. All I need is a charging station. You can put in a charging station for this vehicle, and then I can run it
and then you get yourself on one of the time of use APS rates where you're charging it off the nighttime rates that are much lower. So
yeah, excellent. Save money all over the place. Well. That's just so awesome, Greg.
This is the coming thing. That's the future.
It is.
I'm telling you.
You're in the right industry. Definitely. Keep up the good work. Verde Solar Power. Check it out, verdesolarpower.com. We're speaking with Greg Collins. Give him a call, 284-0884. And we'll see you again next time on A Perfect Home.